So Kim, what did you think?
I thought you had a really good opening. You had a clear thesis. Your transitions were only somewhat clear, and you talked a little fast, and you kind of talked to the visual when you had like the thingy up. You read a lot. But I thought it was really good and cool information.
Yeah, on the presentation part, I do think that you compensate for some of the lack of eye contact with good energy in your voice, although I would also agree it sounds like you are racing a little bit through some sections. Yeah, I know. I could tell. This is one of those things. Remember I told you when you work on these things, 9 times out of 10, the problem is not how do I fill the time, it's how do I get it down to the time that I have available to me. I thought the opening section, everything was really solid. It basically did what I've asked you guys to do. There's a good attention device, the clear identification of the topic. You have an excellent statement of your thesis. There's a good preview. You give us a justification for listening to the speech. So all of that's really sound. On the material, you do a pretty good job. Sometimes I think you could make things a little bit more involving with an example. I think you need to cut some stuff out of the speech and maybe talk about just 1 or 2 of the areas that you've got. The technical stuff about fire truck and fire engine and the different guys on the truck and all those things. I like that. I think that that's something that people might be interested in. The daily agenda stuff, probably a little bit less so, although you could mention a couple things. That's something that could probably contract about in half or down to a third of what it is at this particular time. The visuals, I like the models that you have. Everybody appreciates seeing them. The way you showed them, I thought, was also pretty effective when you were talking about where the different firefighters are on the engine. You go through that pretty well. The transparencies, they're just too small to see. I know you put them on an overhead to make them easier to see, but it's small, fine print. If you guys are going to do stuff on transparencies, you got to most of your computers, you can change the font on things. If you have to edit it, just copy it and then change the font so it's bigger so you can see those kinds of things, because otherwise it's just not going to come across as clearly as it needs to. All right. What I'm doing, by the way,